brought up in a Christian home since as long as really I can ever remember. Got to an age of about probably 10 or 11, I made a decision. And it went alright for a while. And then I got to the age of 16 and I found out my father was sick. And if anyone knows me, I was very, very close to my father. I'd go to work with him. If he was going somewhere, I'd be with him. And when we found out this news, I was in a very, very backslidden state. I was going to church, I was doing everything a Christian should do, but in my heart it was really, really far from God. And we found out my father had cancer. And it was like my whole world ended. I couldn't explain it, I couldn't describe it, but inside it was broken. And I tried to make deals with God. I said, God, if you heal him, then I'll serve you. I'll do everything you want me to do and serve you the rest of my life. The day my father went in, he said they could give him medication and they could give him treatment and it was going to be cured. And when my father went into that hospital, he was a very, very bitter man. There's a lot of things on in the family and he had a lot of bitterness. And he was in a backslidden state the same way I was. And before he went through his operation, he just looked at my aunt Tony and said, I just can't pray. And in them 3 weeks in that hospital, my father completely changed as a person. He was a different person. He truly gave his life to the Lord. He received the tongues. He was claiming to be saved for 20 odd years, but when he went into this hospital, God done something supernatural in his life. And the problems and not bitterness that he had against people, he asked the people to come to the hospital. He started a few bits out. And I sat down with him one night in the room, it was just me and him, and I said, Daddy, if you go, I won't be able to do it, I won't be able to carry on. And he said, you will? He said, if you just give it to God, he said, you will carry on. And I goes down to the little chapel downstairs and I cried before God. I said, God, please, if you can do anything for me, if I had a child and I could fix their life, then I would. The next day, we goes up to the hospital and the doctor said, listen, it could be any minute. And it was really, really early in the morning. I remember sitting in the chair and I was devastated. There was a room full of people, but I felt alone. I felt on my own. I just felt like there was no one else there, it was just me. And he said, God's calling me. And at the time I didn't really know I didn't understand why this happened until now. And everyone in the room said, listen, if God's calling you, go home. And he said, no, he said, 4:30. And there was a lot of unsaved family in there at the time. And 4:30 on the dot, my father took his last breath and went home to be with the Lord. And I completely shattered. I broke. I fainted, I collapsed, I couldn't understand why this was happening. And I goes home and I was a very, very empty young person. I was only 16, very, very empty inside. And the day of my father's wake, it was all like tablets in the trail, and I come to a point in my life where I didn't want to be here anymore. I thought, if he's gone, I want to go too. And there was this voice speaking into my mind, and it was like someone was talking to me. It was like I was really sitting down with someone, and this person was real, and there was no one there, it was just me. And I started popping these tablets, and I started counting them up and see how many there. I just wanted to go. And my Aunt Girlie's husband, Tony, I don't know if he ever does know, he is a minister. And he come to the door and he banged it really hard and I got a fright. So I threw the tablets off the table and I opened the door and said, what's wrong? He said, come out right now. But I didn't know what he wanted off me and I didn't understand why he come. But obviously God must have used him in that area. And I come out and it was like the voice just went away, it was gone. And we moved, we come up to Dunstable way and there was all different churches around. One of our family members said to go to Ivor. And we go to Ivor and the only reason why I was going to church is because I made a promise to my father that I'd always go to church. And I was sitting at the back of Ivor, right at the back chair, and Billy King got to preach a message. I didn't know Billy King at the time. And everything he spoke in his message was for me, it was my life. And I was wondering who told this man about me. I couldn't understand how this man knew everything about me, how I felt. And when someone thought, well, if I didn't have known, how could someone else tell about me? And I goes home, I didn't get up for prayer, and it goes home. And I really, really cried before God. I said, Lord, I said, if you're real, and you're this person that everyone speaks about, I need help because I'm a very, very broken young person. And there and then, something set in my heart, a peace that I can't describe, a peace that I can't explain. It just set in my heart. I truly repented before God. I'm not saying some days I get up and it's hard. Some days life is not always a bed of roses and you give your life to Jesus and that's it. There's been trials after trials in my life. But I can honestly say I get up in the morning and I have a true contentment and a true peace and a true happiness that I thought I'd never find again. tonight and you've lost someone, or you're going through a trial, or you're going through something you think there's no point in living, God is only one call away. God bless.